Welcome everyone to Vested Interest. This is Shane back again for another Stock Pick of the Day video. It is February 12th, Monday, first day of a brand new week. Today we are going to take a look at one I'm sure you are familiar with. We're going to take a look at the Hershey Company. This one is out of the consumer staples sector. Let's jump right in. And for those of you who may be stopping by for the first time, or those of you who just may have not done so already, if you find any value in this content, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button down below. Hit the subscribe button and join us on this journey of financial freedom. Join the Vested Interest community. We are dividend growth investors. That's what we focus here on this channel. And hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever we put out any new content. Doing all those things really does help a small YouTube channel like myself grow. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm and gets the word out to other people who might be dividend growth investors or who might be interested in dividend growth investing. So again, if you could help me out, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. Let me know if Hershey is in your portfolio or if it's one you're avoiding right now. This is the Vested Interest Stock Screener. This is how I set up the videos. It's also how I do a review on stocks I may be interested in buying, or if they already are in my portfolio, it is a way I back check they still meet the criteria I'm looking for. You can pause this and go through it, but I'm really looking for 5 of 8 to be investable. If it does meet 5 of 8, then it goes into my watch list. And you can see here highlighted in green for banks, I like to throw in price to book. Now you can use price to book for any company. Just for banks, it's real easy. 1 being fair value, anything under 1 being undervalued, anything over 1 being overvalued for financial companies. For other companies, you want to compare them to other equal companies in their sector to use price to book. Don't just use the 1 as fair value for other companies. And back to Hershey. If you want to know more about this company, check them out at www.thehersheycompany.com. That's www.thehersheycompany.com. That is their homepage where I pulled this information from. Rooted in our values, our founder, Milton Hershey, and that's him right there. You can see that. He founded the company over 100 years ago, back 125 years ago. Very old company here. His vision was to make chocolate accessible to everyone. His dedication to creating a better world continues to inspire our mission statement, as we call it, our purpose of making more moments of goodness. Our brands and values create a unique place in people's hearts and minds, differentiates our business, and inspires our future growth. You can run through the rest of this here. You can see some of their brands. Excuse me. Again, probably a company you're very familiar with. We've all been eating their snacks probably since we were kids, unless you had really strict parents maybe who didn't let you. Growing up in my household, a lot of times it was, fruits and vegetables for snacks, but we did have some. My mom loved Rolos. I like York peppermint patties. My wife really likes Twizzlers, right? Reese's. They recently got into, so it's a lot of sweets, chocolates. Reese's Pieces are one of my favorites. Heath candy bars. And then recently, they've been getting into the snacks portion of, so Skinny Pops, pretzels, Pirate's Booty are some of the salty snacks that they've been getting into. So it's really just a snack brand. That's what they provide. Even some gum here, ice cubes. My daughters like the gums here. They each, I think my one daughter likes the, what is it, Winter Mint, I think it is. And then my other daughter likes some fruity one. But anyways, you get the idea. Again, your kids, if you have them, definitely know these brands. Anyone who's been out trick-or-treating knows these brands. And unless your parents, like I said, were very, very strict, you've definitely eaten some of these candies over the year. Now, on to the reason we're taking a look at them. Down 0.89% on the day. Not a huge drop, but a drop nonetheless. A lot of green in my portfolio. This was one of the few companies, it's not in my portfolio, but one of the few companies I found that was down on the day. So I thought we'd take a look at it. Plus, a lot of you might be buying chocolate for your significant other with Valentine's Day coming up. So happy early Valentine's Days. And don't forget the flowers and chocolate if you haven't gotten your wife, girlfriend, husband, boyfriend, anything. I don't think there's any of us that don't like a little bit of chocolate. And for the women out there, some flowers for Valentine's Day. Don't forget that. If you haven't bought any, get to the store tomorrow and make sure you've got something for Valentine's Day. We are talking about the Hershey Company, ticker HSY, again out of the consumer staple sector. Closed out the day at $193.72 per share. You can see the volatility throughout the day. 52-week range as low as $178.82, as high as $276.88. They are closer to their 52-week low than they are their 52-week high by a long shot, actually. Average volume 2.7 million. Average volume 1.6 million. Today's volume was 2.7 million. A lot of people jumping out of this one today for whatever reason. Let's see, the beta 0.36, less volatile than the overall market and significantly less volatile. The PE on this one is a little higher than I like at 21.36. It is right around what the market is right now, but the market is elevated right now in my opinion. I would like more of a pullback here. EPS, earnings per share, sitting at $9.07 per share. Their earnings date sometime between April 25th and April 29th if you're interested in that. Forward dividend yield is $5.48 on the year. They are a quarterly payer, divide by 4, but we'll cover that here in a little bit, so you'll see that. Nice starting dividend yield at 2.8%. Ex-dividend date is coming up soon, February 16th. You would want to buy this February 15th or sooner if you wanted to get the next dividend payout, and they will be paying out the dividend on March 15th. 1 year target estimate, at least according to Yahoo Finance, where I pulled this information from. I'm not affiliated, just one of the sources I like to go to. $212.18. So they see it going back up from where it currently sits, but not making it back up to that 52-week high. At least that's what they're saying. Now, I like to get into the statistics and look at dividend yield theory here. So we're going to do that. And to do that, you'd go 5-year dividend yield average, 1.96. You compare it to its current, 2.80. And I know it says forward, but it's the current, right? Right here's the 2.80, 2.80, same number. And since it is higher, that speaks to some undervaluation on this one. And according to dividend yield theory, not only undervaluation, but a nice margin of safety here. Now, they do have a low payout ratio. This says 49.18, under 50%. I think it's going to show on stockanalysis.com. It's a little over 50%, but still low payout ratio. I like 75% or less. So this definitely meets the criteria that I'm looking for. Now, you'd want to get in here and look at the financials as well. A lot of good information there. Under the financials tab, you can find their balance sheet, their income statement, their debt to equity ratios. What are their assets over liabilities? Is their revenue growing? Are their margins growing or shrinking? Are they paying down debt? Very good information there. And if you are investing in individual stocks, you need to understand all of that. For our purposes, we are going to look at free cash flow. We want growing free cash flow over time, because typically if a company has growing free cash flow over time, it means they're profitable. It also means they typically raise their dividends along with it. 2020, we can see here 1.2 billion, 2021 up to 1.5, 2022 up to 1.8. So far, 2023 numbers have not been finalized, but it looks like 1.6. So overall, from 2020 to date, looks like growing free cash flow, and they are rebuying a lot of their own shares. 211,000 here, 457,000 in 2021, 388 in 2022, and 273 so far in 2023. So good metrics overall so far. The only thing I would say is maybe it would be, nice if it pulled back a little more closer to this 52-week low, but overall it's not far off of its 52-week low. And the other metrics, free cash flow growing, payout ratio under 75%, dividend yield theory says they're potentially undervalued. Let's keep going. Now, I always recommend more than one source. So another one that I like is stockanalysis.com. You pick any sources that you like. Just make sure that you are picking more than one and making sure that you can check to the information is up to date and it is accurate. That's the idea behind having more than one source of information. Now, 19 stock analysts that have taken a look at this for stockanalysis.com call it a consensus hold, though it is right close to a buy. This would be a strong sell, hold, buy, strong buy. If you were to go to stockanalysis.com, you could go through these and see how many are on each one of these out of the 19 analysts they've had to take a look at this. They have a low estimate of $180, and that would be closer to its 52-week low and might be a better entry point. So might be worth watching this one to see if it continues to drop. And it does look like in the after hours, it is dropping a bit more, though 0.06% is not a huge drop nonetheless. Still looks like there might be some further pullback here. $180 low, that would be a 7.80% decrease from where it currently sits. They have an average estimate of $225.68. That would be in line with what we saw with Yahoo Finance, actually a little bit higher, but right in line anyway. That would be a 16.5% increase and a high estimate of $285, which would be a 47.12% increase back closer to their 52-week high. And you could collect that 2.8% dividend yield along the way if you were to buy them now. Now, I like to get into statistics here and look at return on equity and return on invested capital to see how well the company is reinvesting back into itself. And for these metrics, return on equity, I like 10% or better. This is sitting at 53%, smoking high. Return on invested capital, 25.45%, beats the 10% I'm looking for as well. So very good numbers so far overall. Earnings per share growth, I like 5% or better. This is sitting at 7.54 projected over the next 5 years. And revenue growth projected at 5% as well. Again, very good numbers overall on this one. Let's jump over to the dividend history. Again, payout ratio, this says 59. I know Yahoo Finance said 49%. You know, anything under 60%, I like 75% or lower. So this still meets my criteria, even if it was 60%. We'll split it in the middle, call it 45%. I'm fine with that. Dividend growth, very high, 19.48%. So not only do you start out with a nice 2.8% dividend yield if you were to buy them now, very nice dividend growth right now. 2021, they were paying 80 cents and a fraction of a penny. Jumping to November 2021. No, it's April. Let's go back down. So in February of 2021, they were paying 80 cents. In August 19th, 2021, they raised it up to 90 cents. August 2022, they raised it up to $1.03. August 2023, most recent, up to $1.19. No, not most recent. Actually, August looks like their typical one, but then they went out of sequence and raised it to $1.37 here just in February. So that's why you're getting such big dividend growth. They've raised it twice in the last year. That's very nice to see. They're really focusing on returning capital to investors through dividends here. That's why you've got a 19% growth. They raised it in August and then again here most recently in February. Quarterly payer, they pay out on the March, June, September, December timeframe. Again, very nice numbers overall for this one. Let me know what you think of Hershey's. That's it for this video. As always, appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to show me some love. Hit that thumbs up, ring the notification bell. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Join us on this journey to financial freedom. Join the vested interest community. Hopefully, you are on your own journey to financial freedom as well. I do personally read and respond to the comments, so go ahead and drop one down below. I'm always interested to read your questions, opinions, or suggestions for future topics. So if you have a company like Hershey you'd like me to cover on the Stock Pick of the Day series, drop it down below. When it pulls back on a day, I'll try to get a video out on it. And this is Shane signing off, wishing peace and prosperity to you and yours. And remember, financial security comes to those who take a vested interest. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you in the next one. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this presentation should be considered financial advice. I'm only sharing my opinion and investment journey for educational and entertainment purposes. Investing involves risk. You can lose money and should never invest any amount you're not comfortable losing. Always do your own research. Invest based on your situation, circumstances, and select criteria, or seek the advice counsel of a certified financial advisor.